You are listening to The Last Hand, Book 8 of the Nadia Wolf Series, written by Nicolette Pierce. Copyright 2018. Audio copyright 2025 by Pierced Heart Publishing. Digitally narrated with full cast of voices. Chapter 17. I smoothed out my dress for the 100th time as I waited with the other brides in the bridal room. They were more composed than I was. Jenna's dress was the most elaborate. It was adorned with lace and tiny white flowers, pretty and suitable for her. Gwen wore a sophisticated, slimming white dress. Maya had been afraid Ava might show up in camouflage, but she wore a simple ivory dress that looked lovely on her. Rosie was the surprise addition to the ceremony. I hadn't been positive Sergio and Rosie were an item, but after the whole fiasco, they had spoken to Frankie and Mark about getting married. When the trio found out, they were quick to include them in the group. I was happy for them to join us. They didn't have any family, so they were welcome to ours. Rosie fit right in, already speaking to the other brides as if she had known them for years. I guess with all they had been through, they had formed a natural bond. She was sweet with her dark hair and adorning yellow flowers that were placed throughout. Her dress had an empire waist like mine, only she didn't need to hide any extra weight. Thankfully, mine had enough material to hide a lot. It helped to have additional lace that created another layer to hide under. Maya waddled in. Her horizontal striped dress made her look as if she had a watermelon stored under the fabric. She was adorable.
We're nearly ready. The guests are all seated, the quartet is playing, the grooms are in place, and they are so handsome.
She gushed.
We just need Frankie and Mark.
Where are they? She hesitated.
I don't know.
I straightened, suddenly concerned. Out of everything to worry about today, Frankie and Mark disappearing should not have been one of them.
When did you see them last?
Ava asked.
An hour ago. They were squabbling about ribbon, so I went to check on the refreshments for the after-wedding mingle. When I came back, they were gone. I looked everywhere I could think of. I even called them.
Do the guys know?
Gwen asked.
No, they already look a bit nervous, and you know how they can overreact. I sent David to go look for them.
So, do we just stay here and wait?
Jenna asked.
I think so. It's bad luck if the grooms see you.
I think we've had our share of bad luck. What else could possibly happen?
I don't know, but I'm not tempting fate either. Give David 10 minutes, and then we'll start worrying.
I sat gingerly on a chair, knowing Frankie and Mark would never ditch us, and no one besides Alfonso would ever want to abduct them. Ugh, Alfonso. He was one person I wanted to forget, but he lurked in my mind, coming out whenever I didn't expect him. Whether I was happy assisting with the wedding or looking at house plans with Caleb, all of a sudden Alfonso would appear to remind me that this could all be gone in a blink of an eye. He would be my phantom for the rest of my life. Thankfully, that's all he could ever be. I looked around at all the women gathered and felt relieved. Alfonso couldn't hurt anyone ever again. Maya, however, might harm Frankie and Mark if they didn't show soon. Perhaps they just needed to cool off from their argument about ribbons. An odd thing to fight about, but it was Frankie and Mark. I tried to breathe steadily and remain calm. Not because the officiants were missing, but because my parents and Caleb's family were outside the door. I had already met his cousin who had helped fix my apartment from Muffin's hostile takeover, but I had never met his parents or anyone else. The door swung open, and Jessica stormed in, her dark hair tossed into a haphazard bun, which was unusual for her. She liked to maintain a professional appearance at all times. She must be upset about something, and I was about to find out what.
A wedding?
She asked, clearly miffed, but I had no idea why.
You're getting married and you didn't even bother to tell me? I nearly missed a very important PR opportunity.
I thought you knew. You gave Maya all of my contacts and Caleb's.
I didn't know it was for a wedding. Caleb left that out.
It was very sudden, And this is a group wedding. I don't think anyone here wants their happy day to become a PR media bite. She glanced at the other brides and then frowned.
If I had any sense, I'd drop you both as clients.
I'm okay with that. She narrowed her eyes.
Don't forget you're under contract.
How could I forget? You remind me every chance you get. Jessica tisked.
I'll take a few photos for Poker Insider and then update the website.
She glanced at the brides.
I will only take them of Caleb and Nadia.
She turned on her heels and walked out the door, snapping it closed behind her.
She's very high-strung.
Gwen said. I'm sure she'll yell at Caleb next for breaking his leg.
Why do you put up with her?
Jenna asked. Because Caleb does. I'm bundled in with his contract, which annoys her to no end, but she would never cancel his contract. He's her pocket ace. I shrugged. I don't mind her all that much. She takes care of paperwork and taxes. She books events. She's rather helpful when it suits her. I took out my phone and texted Jessica. In fact, she can find Frankie and Mark.
Why would she do that?
Because she's already in PR mode, and I know she's told people she'll get them pics in a statement. If this wedding doesn't happen, then she'll have a ton of cleanup to do. She hates that. Jenna smiled.
We need someone like that for the bed and breakfast. Do you think she works for companies too?
I'm sure if the price is right, she will. I looked in my purse to find her card. I fished it out with a few lollipop wrappers and handed it to Jenna. But don't say I didn't warn you. She laughed.
I think Grayson and I can handle her.
I glanced about the room, seeing that the others had gone back to chatting. I leaned in to whisper to Jenna, Are we okay?
What do you mean?
You and me. I know there was a bit of awkwardness. I just want you to know that I hope we can be friends. With Maya as the community glue, I know we'll see each other again. I just want to make sure that's okay.
I wouldn't be in this wedding if it wasn't. Yes, we're good. Sometimes I react before I remember Grayson loves me and you love Caleb. But that's something I have to work through, not you. I wasn't sure of the group wedding at first, but now I'm happy about it.
I have to admit I had mixed feelings about it too, but I think it's going to be great.
As long as we can find Frankie and Mark.
With Jessica on the hunt, it'll be only a matter of minutes. She smiled.
You look radiant, by the way. The dress suits you. I'm so glad Maya was able to do all of our hair. She's such a gem.
Thank you. She picked out this dress. I truly don't know what I would do without her.
I heard my name.
Maya said, coming over. I was just saying you picked out my dress.
Well, if I left it to you, you'd come in a hoodie and jeans.
I smiled, knowing she was probably right. There was a bang on the door, and Muffin walked in.
The grooms are getting restless.
We're waiting for Frankie and Mark.
Oh, they're in place. Jessica just dragged them in.
Were they still fighting?
I think so.
Oh dear. Should I go talk to them? I don't want them to start fighting during the ceremony.
Yes, please, I said, knowing that with Frankie and Mark, anything was possible. She hurried out the door as fast as she could and returned a couple of minutes later. Well? I asked.
All is well. We're ready to proceed.
What was wrong?
It's been sorted out. I'll tell you later. Now, ladies, let's stand in order. Ava, you are first, followed by Gwen, Jenna, Rosie, and Nadia.
I was thankful to be last. By the time I arrived, the focus would be split between all of the couples. And even though I thought that, it didn't help when it was my turn to walk down the aisle with high heels and a sudden wave of nausea. Behave, I told the baby. I wasn't sure if she could understand silent commands, but it was worth a shot. However, as soon as I caught sight of Caleb, everything else melted away. He stood with the aid of a single crutch. His leg had to be throbbing, but it didn't show on his face. He smiled at me, reassuring me that we could face anything together, even a group wedding with feuding officiants. As soon as I neared him, he held out his hand, bringing me close to whisper,
You're beautiful.
Frankie cleared his throat.
Ladies and gentlemen, we want to welcome you to our newly opened wedding chapel. It is our honor to join these couples today in matrimony. We know each of these couples well. Some a little too well. And I can honestly say, with not one single doubt in my mind, that these couples are in it for the long haul. They've each been through struggles no one should ever have to go through. They've come out stronger and more committed to each other. Their love will withstand the test of time.
Caleb squeezed my hand. I listened to Frankie and Mark as they continued, watching as each person said, "I do," until it was my turn. It seemed like it was proceeding so fast, and yet I also felt like my brain was stalled in slow motion. Did Caleb say "I do"? Caleb looked at me as if waiting. Was it my turn? "I do," I choked. He grinned, his eyes lighting with laughter. Somehow a ring had been slipped on my finger, but I'm not sure when that happened. It was lovely and twinkly. Caleb had picked it out. It was a diamond surrounded by emeralds. He said the emeralds reminded him of my eyes, and the shape was like a round poker chip. Frankie and Mark were wrapping up the ceremony when a sudden shriek echoed through the room. We all looked behind us to find Maya standing with a petrified look on her face.
My water broke.
Holy damn. Husbands, kiss your brides. You're all married. Cheers. We have a baby coming.
Caleb kissed me.
Life is always an adventure with you.
I had nothing to do with this, I said, turning to watch David help Maya out the door.
Maybe not,
He said, watching them as well.
but I can't wait for my turn.
You'll get your turn soon enough,
Nadia,
Maya yelled from outside the room.
my overnight bag.
I'll bring it.
Thank you.
And they were gone.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Mark said,
there are refreshments out in the lobby. Let's enjoy. I don't think we'll get any baby announcements for at least a few hours, probably more. Let's celebrate the joining of these 5 couples.
Ava and Remy led the procession out. Caleb and I filed out after Rosie and Sergio. After being focused on only Caleb, I finally noticed the other grooms for the first time. They were a handsome group all decked out in tuxes. Even though the tuxes were mainly the same style, each one looked completely different. Grayson would always be sophisticated, and Remy would always look like if one muscle twitched, he would bust out of his coat. As soon as we reached the lobby, I waited for my parents, who were not far behind. I hugged them both. "I'm so happy you were able to come,"
We are too.
Mom said, her brown hair swept up into a bun.
But I was a little surprised. I didn't even know you two were dating.
You'll be even more surprised.
Muffin said as she walked past.
Just wait until she tells you Caleb knocked her up.
Muffin! I glanced back at my wide-eyed parents and gave a nervous laugh. Looks like we have some catching up to do. It promised to be a long night. Thankfully, I had Caleb beside me, his parents already introducing themselves and whisking my parents into conversation.
See? No problem at all.
Caleb said.
Didn't you say you had something to show me in the bedroom?
I laughed, thankful that none of our parents had heard him. Later.
You're going to make me wait? Is this the beginning of the end, Mrs. Usher?
Wolf Usher, I corrected. It's in the contract that Jessica made me sign.
Of course it is.
He hugged me to him, his arms around my waist.
You can't make me wait for this.
He kissed me. I slipped my arms around his neck. You never have to wait for that, I said, kissing him back.
I wish our flight was tonight.
It's only a few days away. We had made a last-minute decision to take a honeymoon after the wedding. It made sense seeing as there was a baby on the way, and we were basically homeless. This was the perfect time to get away. Plus, leaving Vegas for even a short time would help separate us from memories. Caleb tugged me toward the hall.
We have a little time.
I glanced around to see that everyone was happily occupied. Let's go, but we have to be back before anyone notices. His eyes lit up.
A challenge?
I nodded.
Accepted.